Dear students, today in this video we will try to learn what is tunnel effect in quantum mechanics. Tunnel effect in quantum mechanics is one very important and remarkable milestone of quantum theory, which will make us understand that how one information or wave or any energy can tunnel through a barrier. Probably you have gone through the last two lecture videos where we have discussed the step potential. In one step potential, we have discussed that the energy of the wave was greater than the step size or barrier height. In another, we have discussed that the energy of the wave colliding on the barrier is less than the height of the barrier or less than the energy of the barrier. Despite that, we have seen that there is finite probability that the wave will transmit through, but the probability is very narrow. Today we will see one tunnel effect. Let us consider I have one barrier like that. It is also looking like a step potential, and the whole system is consisting of three different segments, 1 2 3, and these three segments are first, second and third. If we name them up, this is suppose x-axis, this is 0 and this is L, capital L. So I can define that the width of the barrier is in between 0 to capital L. This 0 to capital L is the width of the barrier. Now if we now concentrate on the region 1 and see how the particle or the energy or the matter wave is coming towards the wall. Let us consider that the wave is coming like that, or energy is coming like that. It is hitting on the wall on x equals to 0, and it will certainly lose its energy and finally transmit through in the region 3. Till now everything is our assumption. We have to prove it mathematically, and if we can prove it that in region 3 there will be finite probability that the energy will transmit through, then you have to believe that suppose this is the height upon wall, and in that part of the wall there is a tiger, and you are in the zoo, you are here to view the tiger. Though the height of the wall is much more greater than the tiger can jump in one attempt, but according to quantum mechanics there is finite probability that if the tiger is keep on trying to penetrate the wall, that there is finite probability then some extent of the tiger will transmit through the wall to eat you up. It is very difficult to believe or hard to believe, but in quantum mechanics it is quite possible. Before the tunnel mechanism was established, it was very hard to explain the alpha decay, because if you consider that in alpha decay how the alpha particles are decaying from the nucleus, it is very hard to believe that how some helium nuclei is coming out of the nucleus penetrating the electronic cloud, that is one barrier potential. But after discovery of this tunnel effect, it was quite easy and possible to describe this kind of phenomena like alpha decay or something. So let us go now towards the mathematical side of the theory, and as we have already considered that I am having three different segments or three different regions. Consider the mass of the matter or particle is m. It is traveling from left side to right hand side, and it is facing one wall situated at x equals to 0. The width of the wall is from x equals to 0 to x equals to capital L, and we are considering that the potential energy of the wall or the potential barrier is given in this way, that is ux or vx, whatever you can write, is 0 when x less than equals to 0, and it is equals to v in between 0, x and L, and it is again 0 when x is greater than L. So it is very easy mathematics till now. Now, like the previous step potential problems, we have to write three different Schrodinger's equation for region 1, 2 and 3, and we have to solve them up. In the previous theories of step potential, you faced only two different regions and two different Schrodinger's equations. But here you have to deal with three different Schrodinger's equations. So if I now write the Schrodinger's equation in region 1, then only I have to consider the kinetic energy part, because the potential energy part in the region 1, that is x less than equals to 0, is already 0. So my Schrodinger's equation will be minus h cross square divided by twice m, then del 2 psi 1 del x square, then that will be equals to e psi 1, only e into psi 1. So taking all in one side, you will write del 2 psi 1 del x square plus twice me by h cross square into psi 1 equals to 0. That is very simple mathematics, and already you are quite aware about this. Then in next line, like the previous things, you have to consider that I am considering one constant term, k1 is that part, that is k1 equals to whole root over twice me by h cross square. Then the equation will be converted to very simple form, and the simple form will have a solution, that the trial solution will be equals to psi 1 equals to a e to the power I k1 into x plus b e to the power minus I k2 in k1 into x. Similarly, in region 3, similar equation will be followed up, exactly similar. Why exactly similar? Because in region 3 also you are having only the kinetic energy part, the potential energy is 0. So the Hamiltonian will be modified accordingly, and the Schrodinger's equation will be, from this line I am writing directly, del 2 psi 3 del x square plus twice m, then e h cross square into psi 3 equals to 0. So again the same constant will be there, and if you are having the same constant, your trial solutions will be quite identical to region 1. And your trial solutions, you can write psi 3 equals to f e to the power I k1 into x plus g e to the power minus I k1 into x, where f and g are constants. Now our fun part, that is, if you give it equation number 1 and if you consider these two equation number 2, look at equation number 2. From equation 2, one important thing arises, that is psi 3. If you consider that e to the power minus term is the reflected part of the wave and e to the power plus term is the transmitted part of the wave, so you can write this as psi in, that is incident part, plus psi r, the reflected part. Very simple. But look at region 3. In region 3 there is no reflector, so obviously this high R part should be 0, or this should be converted to 0. So from equation 2 you can write that psi 3 will be only f e to the power I k1 into x. This part will be vanished. Okay, so psi in, that will be also be written as I told, the transmitted part, that is psi t. This can be written as psi t, and psi in and psi t are same, no difference between them. So if you can now calculate the rho in, the probability, that will be equals to psi in whole square. So if you calculate that current density J, that can be written as any V. So J in, that is probability current density of incident wave, that will be equals to rho in into V in. Similarly, reflected term will be JR into VR. Similarly, the transmitted term will be JT into VT. This will be required later, that is why I am showing you the hint only. Now I am going towards the region 3. So what will be happening in region 2? Region 2 is important because in region 2 you are having both the kinetic and the potential parts. So in region 2 the Schrodinger equation will be little different. The Schrodinger equation will be minus h cross square divided by 2 m del 2 psi 2 by del x square plus v into psi equals to e psi. That will be 2, that will be 2. Okay, so if you rewrite it, you will be getting del 2 psi 2 divided by del x square plus 2 m by h cross square into e minus v equals to 0. Okay, we always know that v is much greater than e. That is why it is called tunnel effect. So better to write this equation as del 2 psi 2 by del x square minus 2m by h cross square into v minus e. This is the correct form because v is always greater than e. So here also you can consider one constant as k2. K2 will be equals to whole to the power of 2m into v minus e by h cross square. So as to make the equation simple, and the trial solutions we can write from that psi 2 will be equals to c e to the power minus k2 into x plus d e to the power k2 into x. There is no complex sign because in this differential equation already I am having one negative sign in between. Now I am to apply the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? If you go back to the previous diagram, the diagram was like that there is one discontinuity at x equals to 0 and x equals to L. So the boundary conditions are that is psi 1 will be equals to psi 2 at x equals to 0, because in this part region 1 and region 2 terminates. So put it psi 1 equals to psi 2 at x equals to 0, and also del psi 1 by del x will be equals to del psi 2 by del x. That is first differential will also be continuous. And also we can write from another boundary condition, another interface, that is at x equals to L, psi 2 will be equals to psi 3 and del psi 2 by del x will be equals to del psi 3 by del x. In the second interface, here psi2 and psi3 interfaces. So the second boundary condition will be like that. So if you put all the boundary conditions, you will be getting 4 different equations. And how many unknowns I am having? I am having now 6 unknowns. Not 6, actually 5 unknowns. Because already one unknown has vanished already. If we go back, that is in equation 1 I was having unknown a and b, and in equation 2 I was having unknown f and g, but the g part, that is psi reflected part, already vanished. So f is there, a, b, f. And now for region 2 I am getting another 2 constants, and these constants are c and d. So altogether I am having now 5 constants, but I am having only 4 equations in my hand. So it is difficult to have their values numerically. So better to convert all the values in terms of one constant. That will make our life more simple. So putting at x equals to 0, if you put that, you can try it at home. I am not showing this simple calculation, this simple algebraic calculation only. That if you put at x equals to 0, what you will be getting? You will be getting a plus b equals to c plus d. You can make it equation 4, and you can make it equation 3, and also you will be getting ik1 a minus b equals to k2 into minus c plus d. You can make it equation number 5. And now if you put the conditions at x equals to L, then you will be getting c e to the power minus k2 into L plus d e to the power k2 into L equals to f e to the power I k1 into L. Make it equation 6. And from the differential equation, this one, you will be getting minus k2 c e to the power k2 into L plus k2 into d e to the power k2 into L equals to I k1 f e to the power I k1 into L. You can make it equation number 7. But all the values I do not need. I need only a few values to counter this problem. Actually, I need the value of a by f. Why? That I will show you later. So how to get the value of a by f? You don't have to show the calculation after this. Only you can write one line. The calculation will be very lengthy. You can check it from any book, any handbook of Sheep or Goswami, anything. This calculation is available. Only you can write that solving 4, 5, 6 and 7, I get a by f equals to half plus I by 4 k2 by k1 minus k1 by k2 e to the power I k1 plus k2, that into L. Only if you write, this will be good enough. Plus half minus I by 4 k2 by k1 minus k1 by k2 e to the power I k1 minus k2 into L. This is the ratio of two constants. The constants I got during solving the equations, Schrodinger's equations. Now the condition is v much greater than e, that we know. So I can write k1 by k2 is less than k2 by k1. So if the value of L is very large, that is the boundary is too wide. If L is very large, you can write k2 into L, that is much greater than 1. So e to the power k2 into L, that will be much greater than e to the power minus k2 into L. So the simplified form of A by F will be half plus I by 4 into k2 by k1 bracket close e to the power k2 into L then ik2 by k1 plus 1. Okay, directly I am writing the simplified form. These calculations are not required. Only after these conditions you can write the simplified form directly. That is what will be the values of A by F simplified form: half plus I by 4 k2 by k1 into e to the power k2 into L. This will be the value of A by F. So simply A by F star will be equals to half, this I will be equals to minus I by 4 k2 by k1 e to the power k2 into L. Okay, now to calculate the value of T, what will be the value of T? The transmission coefficient. The value of transmission coefficient is transmission probability density of current divided by incident probability density of current. So what will be the transmission probability density of current? If you remember, we have already wrote the values of transmitted equation and incident equation. See, this is psi t. Psi t, this comes with F, and psi in, this is coming with A. So I need the values of A and F. That is why already we have calculated the values of A and F. So if you now calculate the transmission coefficient T, the transmission coefficient will be the ratio of probability density of transmitted wave divided by probability density of incident wave, and that too give you the value of f star Vt divided by A star V in. And we know in case of group velocity V in will be equals to Vt. So this will cancel out. Only you need to know the value of the ratio of these two. That is, you can multiply these two equations and you can get the ratio. Multiplying these two, finally you will be getting the ratio like that: A by 4, sorry, 1 by 4 plus k2 square divided by 16 k1 square whole to the power minus 1 e to the power minus 2 k2 into L, where the value of k2 and k1 you know, and if you simplify it more, you take the approximate value, it will be e to the power minus 2i k2 into L. I think that in this part you have stuck a little, but I'm not simplifying it more. Only I'm giving you the hint that if you go back to the lesson of the step potential part 1 and part 2, there this transmission coefficient, the reflection coefficient, all the calculations are done. If you follow the calculation, you will get this one. It's very simple. So finally I am getting the transmission probability of the transmittance equals to e to the power minus 2i k2 into L, where the value of k2 you know will be equals to whole to the power of 2i m into v minus e divided by h cross square. So this is non-zero value actually. Why I want to emphasize on this, that this is not equals to 0. So what I told already, there is finite probability that the energy will be transmitted through the barrier. This was the simple idea, but in reality the life is not that simple. That as I was trying to describe in case of alpha decay, how the alpha particle decays. Alpha particle decays from the nucleus, but from nucleus it has to overcome the electronic cloud, and it is discrete energy system. There is first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit. So instead of one step only, there will be multiple steps like that, and the energy has to overcome all these, and passing all this through, then only it can transmit or it can tunnel. Alpha particle do follow these steps, and one of this type of model we practice in lattice vibration, and we call it conic-Penny model. In solid state physics we'll go through it later. In conic-Penny model is also one example of multiple step potentials through which the energy can transmit. So if I now ask you one simple question, suppose there is one rigid wall, the wall of the room where you are sitting currently, and you are here, and you are having a ball in your hand, you are throwing it towards the wall. Ball is being reflected, and you are catching it again you are throwing, you are catching it again. This is a fun play we all do while taking a break time at home. But if the ball is quite aware of the quantum mechanical system, there is finite probability that after one certain throw, getting suitable condition, the ball will tunnel through the barrier. But this is one very raw example. Actually it doesn't do like that. The ball has to convert into energy, and part of the energy only can transmit through it, not the whole particle. But the particle also can travel through it, but when it is traveling through the wall, it is converting itself in form of energy. I was giving the example of alpha decay. You can counter that in case of alpha decay we generally get a particle. Alpha is a particle, of course alpha is a particle, but the particle is traveling nearly equal to the velocity of light. So it is particle or wave, there is no difference. So thank you for listening, and after this, for today's course, hope you have enjoyed the class and learned a little about tunnel effect. We'll continue with quantum mechanics in these video lectures. Thank you.